So in this video, I'm gonna fill people in on my inventions, just fiddling around in some of the better ones. The better one is unfluoridated, un water with no fluoride in it, sold, but you would really need to get permission from the government is the big part in that. There's another one, but I think I'm gonna give more detail, and excuse me, I don't feel good, and I'm gonna be killed off pretty soon by a lot of other people wanting to damage my body, my person, even do things against me and my roommate's will. Like right now, my roommate wants to go to the doctors. He wants to go to a doctor in Portsmouth, and he has an appointment because he keeps on falling down and getting sick, and that sends him to the emergency room. So he made an appointment with a specialist for the mold. He's supposed to do that today. He's not going to be able to because the emergency room is screwing around with him again. Screwing with the paperwork. They do this with me all the time. And then it really makes it so other emergency rooms that actually want to help you can't. Then those emergency rooms make mistakes. They don't know what to do, so then they just try to pass you off. It becomes a big problem. But anyways, back to when I was 21, 22, and there was a bunch of inventive college kids. One of them used to try to do chemistry. He used to come out with all these weird things trying to get the homeless to be his guinea pigs, mostly Chris. But another kid had a backyard, and he used to let us build stuff, and he would always have something cool going on. He would like shoot with his BB gun cans of stuff. I don't know what the hell. He used to have no labels on them. But anyways, there's a lot of that on YouTube too. If you go on YouTube, Styro Pyro likes to shoot a lot of cans with lasers, explosions, all of it. It's apparently legal to do as long as you're kind of doing it safe. Anyways, I don't have a backyard and a place to do it safely, so I'm not blowing anything up. But I was invited to this kid's house to hang out on his deck a lot of times. He wanted me to take some of his old childhood toys, and he happened to have a 2000 PSI water gun, old 90s one. They have had many models, but the trick of this is you can charge the PSI and it bursts it in a one wide stream. So I said, let's make a flamethrower. He's like, what? I said, let's make a flamethrower. Now, we didn't have any. We could have done a better job because that particular gun, I was thinking of that one because it had the wide piping, meaning it could push out something much thicker, like a petroleum that is thicker. If you added petroleum to gasoline, you could have used it. But he used kerosene. You could use gasoline, I'm sure, but he grabbed some kerosene for a lamp. He poured it into the gun thinking that, oh, this will be easier to clean. No, it isn't actually. He was thinking that this would be somehow better. Uh, I'm surprised he didn't grab alcohol. Well, then again, that would be expensive, right? But he happened to have some kerosene in the garage. He goes, oh, hey, look at this. This is in the garage. Just waste this shit. So I pour it into the back of the gun, right? But the key here is how do you light it properly when you add the PSI stream? So the first time I bursted it and wasted all this kerosene, the holder, I had this stick or metal extension, just some extra metal and wooden parts we had, and I made an extension that held a Zippo lighter. That went out. That just blew out, and then the Zippo lighter was dripping with kerosene. And if I ever lit the lighter again, boom, I would be on fire. So I had to clean off the lighter holder and start from scratch. So then I said, what happens if I put a stick over the lighter, like make a holder, like just something wide enough, drill a hole in a piece of wood like an incense. You know how those holes in the incense blocks, so, if I put the hole diagonal, the wide hole, then we can put a stick in that, and that stick will go right over the lighter, literally right over it, and then also it will give you an over the shoulder kind of aiming zone. so that you have a rocket launcher, but you also have a stick to show where this fire is going to go. You're going to see the where it's going to drop. Because remember, a flamethrower leaves a line on the ground. It's not like a bullet where it just drops. No, it's a whole line of droppings. So this stick will be not only on fire, but it'll show you what you're going to light on fire. And he goes, that sounds awesome. So when you line it up, oh, I see. I go, when you hold this gun, you have a stick on fire and it makes a line. And then when you fire, it will, yeah, it should leave about the same line because that's what you're lighting on fire is the stick. So we tried it out. I said, okay, we're going to hit the Zippo, and the stick didn't want to light. So then we just dipped the stick in a little bit of kerosene, put the stick in, we put the lighter in, we put the kerosene in the back. Okay, it's all filled up. My Zax flamethrower rocket launcher is all set. So we got the flamethrower rocket launcher going. We got that, we lower it so it's a little bit low. We don't like it, so we put it under the armpit. We go, okay, we're going to do it under the armpit. Now let's check the stick. Okay, we got a line of fire. We have it angled. Flip the lighter. Light the Zippo. Okay, the stick is on fire. Okay, the top of the stick is on fire. Okay, now we got the gun pressurized. Yep, the little thing says 2,000 psi, and we maxed it out. So it's really way past that. And it releases all 2,000 psi at once, emptying like a quarter of the tank of like that thing holds a gallon all at once. Just this big fireball blast out, leaving a whole stream of fire. The kerosene burns, only a little bit of it hits the grass. The grass, it burns so cleanly that it actually doesn't light any of the green grass because it's too burn cleaning, unlike if you had a thick sludge like a oil or something like that, or if you put petroleum with its other version, kerosene, what comes from the petroleum process. If you put those together on a very low heat and you squirted that from that gun, it would be way more effective. You would burn the grass would actually burn. But kerosene burns up so efficiently that when it landed on the grass, it just burned on top of the green grass. And he was like, cool. I'm like, yeah, you're going to kill yourself with this thing. You know that we're ruining the inside of this too. The inside of a squirt gun, even though this has the wide tubing, it really can't take this acidic damage. And he tried it with a power washer for his car. He had this cheapo power washer for his car. He threw some shit in there that he had, and of course it clogged it up. I think he used something. I don't forget. He called me about that one, and he said, "Oh, don't use those because they have anything with those small little things get ruined." And I said, "I told you that." I said, "Anything with a small little hole, you can't put even salt water in it. So you can't put salt water, any sludgy, nothing thick. Even urine will clog up the system. Anything that is thicker than pure, clean water." Even, I mean, gasoline will corrode it, so then you got to clog with corrosion. That green corrosion, lime, calcium, rust. One of those will build up in it, clogging it with those. So, yeah, water. It's meant to have water through it. If you're going to use it as a flamethrower rocket launcher, keep it in your basement for when the apocalypse happens, okay? If you grow up, you're not a kid anymore, you don't have children, but you have a nice little 2,000 psi squirt gun that's laying around that you want to give to your children one day, but the apocalypse happens and your girlfriend's worried that the house is going to be overrun with zombies. Well, go grab that 2,000 psi squirt gun down there that they're not making no more because the world's ended for a year now and they have no more factories producing squirt guns. So those are the only squirt guns left on Earth. And grab that, throw some gasoline in there, and kill those damn zombies. Everybody knows from the original zombie movies, they're killed by a shot to the head, fire, and that's about it. Running them over until they're mashed potato. Mashed potato. That's how you kill a zombie. You gotta either make them in the mashed potato, shoot them in the head, or light them on fire. Even though the new movies say fire, they just run at you on fire. But that's a new trope. The original black and white in all the movies before the 70s, the zombies died with fire. Only in the new movies do they run at you on fire. But I guess we don't know it's real life because we don't zombies don't exist. But viruses do and rabies does. So yes, a virus could make people so mad that they're running around with guns, shooting one another for no reason. Police are just pissing on random people, pulling over their car, pissing on your car, and then just leaving. Who knows what type of rabies could go around? Some super rabies. Just think about it. Super rabies that you breathe in through the air, through contact, and officers are the ones spreading it. Because it's from it's from being near too much of the population that's in prison. Let's say it like that. And apparently the guards spend a lot of time with the officers and the judges, so it spreads between the judges, the clerks, the lawyers, the police officers, and all throughout the prisons, and they just get all rabies. How would that work out? Yeah, you better have some flamethrower squirt gun. If your parents fucked you over and you cannot allow to defend yourself without somebody killing you, stabbing you, shooting you, then you better have some plan to stay alive. Because mine is use whatever I can to stay alive. If somebody's gonna hurt my children, hurt my wife, I will go through any means to protect them. Even if my own family, like they've already shown, wants to put my family in danger, my children, my wife, myself, whatever. We've already seen my family destroy my body. Literally, I've had disabled girlfriends who I didn't expect could take it. But I have more mature girlfriends that actually can take it. And those girlfriends aren't going to put up with their bullshit. They'll go over and slap a bitch. So it's a little different with them. And if you try to bring their name through the mud, a lot of them would be like, you know what, you're dead. This is street type of justice. This is crappy shit sometimes. I've had street girlfriends before, and on the streets, if you hit your wife over and over and the police do nothing, you get pushed into a pile of rocks until you're dead. And the police do nothing, and the whole community does nothing. And that's exactly what would happen to anybody if one of these street people had to go through some heavy hearted thing because you ran their name through the mud or you did something to their body or you called their doctor and they can't get a life saving medicine they need. Oh, yeah. A lot of these people just are like not having it. I mean, prove that they were there in that state on that day. A lot of them come right in and out of prison because it's the only place they can stay warm during winter. I mean, it's ridiculous what I've seen from other people. Thank God I've never had to be like that. I'd rather die following Jesus Christ and let them kill me, and that's why I'll die soon, is that I'm not willing to go that far. I mean, yeah, I could stay alive in prison, but I don't want to go to prison for a crime I didn't commit, and I don't want to I don't want to commit any crime. So, I that's not an option for me. See, other people decide they'd rather go to prison during winter, so they purposely commit crimes until they get caught. They don't get caught the first time either. They're like, damn it, it didn't work this time. Okay, I'm gonna rob another store tomorrow, and then I'm gonna fucking run out, and maybe they'll catch up with me this time. Damn, not in this. You know what? I'm gonna start robbing rich people. I'm gonna start holding them up. Damn it, not this year. I mean, it's so fucked up. It's so fucked up. Reports after reports after reports. I used to have to go and report this with people all the time. I'd be walking down the street. Oh my God, the African American guy or the Spanish guy, bad boy, just robbed me. Which way did he go? That way. Okay, you got to file a report. Well, they're not going to believe me. I just saw him running. I just saw you on the ground and somebody running around the corner. Whatever just happened, I just saw somebody running and I just saw you on the ground. They'll believe you. You're going to stay with me while I make the call? Yes, I will stay with you while you make the call. That was always me. I'm always the guy either getting the phone call to help or bringing somebody to the emergency room, or bringing somebody to the doctor, or being there for them while somebody arrives, or having to be there when the gang members try to hurt them, and having to be like, guys, you can kill me, you can beat me, you can burn me, but I'm not going to allow this to happen. And then they're like, Zach, can't you keep your nose out of this one? If I'm not here, you came over to me, remember? I'm minding my own business. If you let me keep walking my way and you let her continue with me, then yeah, absolutely. We're just gonna walk this way. And they would be like, okay then. And then we just walk off. And I go, that's how you handle that. And they're like, I'm scared of the streets. I'm like, I know. I know. I was when I hit there for the first, like, ever, forever. You're always scared. I mean, you hear somebody get murdered time after time, or you have somebody getting beat right next to you, or got a guy shooting up heroin in the tent next to you, and then you try to get your own tent, but the police start harassing you and lighting you on fire when you're by yourself in your own tent community. It's just you and a guy down the way, just you two, and the guy down the way minds his own business. He never goes through your stuff, and he never great. But then the police go down there, tell you to move, you don't, and they can't do anything because you have permission to be there from the property owners. And there's public property right down the way, so you go from property owner to public property, and it pisses them off. So they just light you on fire. The police officers, way more dangerous. Actually, they're both pretty dangerous. So I know it's scary. And that's how I figure I will die. I will be killed. I will be beaten. No matter what I do, somebody's going to hurt me because that is what they want to do. Just like my mother wanted to hurt me. She wanted to medicate me with slip me pills to make me hurt so that she can make me seem a certain type of way. It's why I lost my voice completely, or I should say, lost the ability to speak without a shock or a nervous system issue during each word I tried to shoot out. That wasn't all the case, that happened to me. That I woke up like that after medications were administered. I was given medication. I lost my vision. I was lost the ability to speak. I started like that, screaming. 7 years old, 5 years old, somewhere in that range, screaming for help. But of course, I can't scream, can't make words. My body's going completely numb and my vision's gone out. My mother's got on the phone in the hallway. They tell her to bring me to the emergency room. Well, I brought this up many times. And my mother admitted that she gave me medicine and I had a reaction from the medicine. Of course I did. She kept on slipping pills into it. We know this for a fact now. I didn't know this when I was 5 years old, 7 years old. I didn't know that the colors aren't supposed to be changing around and I'm not supposed to be suddenly having reactions to my medication only when my mother's handling them. I mean, it's like I'm fine taking the same pills over and over and over. Then my mother wants me to be a certain type of way. She's not getting her way. She calls me over. I take a handful of pills. As soon as those pills kick in, I have a reaction where I'm either sick, drowsy, passed out, or so slow my breathing is slowing down, or I have this overdose that my mother called an allergy attack that caused my neurological disorder. And whenever I bring this up, I think that's a good time to cut this out because I am going to be killed by that long term. I mean, 25 years, and she cut off all medical treatment so well that I'm still having trouble getting treatment today. Yes, she destroyed me, and then she tried to, like, uh, get a bunch of meds. Like, for instance, get me on so many tired meds, so many meds that will make you tired during the day, that when I look drowsy, call it depression, and then you can get that established. She started doing that when we were in Westford, and then she brought it back in Chelmsford and Texas. Texas wasn't having any of it, but Massachusetts was always more than happy to get paid for it because they know the taxpayers will be flipping the bill. See, in Texas, the taxpayers will not flip the bill for this bullshit. So in Texas, they say no. But in Massachusetts, the doctors say yes because they know it's coming from the taxpayer's pocket.